Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle Desrochers and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday night segment of The Outer Realm. We are broadcasting live right here on the United Public Radio Network, UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 and 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. We are fully sponsored by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee, who have basically been a part of our journey since day one. So thank you, Folgers. We appreciate you so very much. Also, big thank you to Dr. Snick, the sonic surgeon, aka Justin Snicker, for his contribution of his music and his voice for the intro and the outro. He's an award-winning composer of Halloween horror, sci-fi, and dark wave electronic music, which can be found anywhere but good music can be found. Tonight, we welcome the return of our dear friends, Hamilton White and Richard Stanley. And what a show it's going to be. It's going to be an open discussion, a lot of updates, always, good for a few laughs, and Lord only knows, super entertaining. But there's a few surprises in there. And of course, Hamilton will be doing his traditional show and tell. So in order to partake tonight, please know we are on Roku. That's right, we are on Roku. However, we do not have a chat room on Roku. So, with that being said, you want to join in. I'm having somebody ask, Dustin, the YouTube link should be posted on all of the Facebook page, including the one you are on right now.
Yeah, in the comment section.
Yeah, just go and look in the comment section and you'll see the live link to the YouTube channel. So we are on UFO, Gods and Extraterrestrials, UFO Paranormal, Outer Realm, YouTube, Facebook, we're News on the Flip Side, UFO Paranormal, United Public Radio, The Outer Realm, Canada's Most Haunted, and hello, Zachman, Adrian, Tamara, Dustin Wayne, hello. So anyway, I think I got everything. I'm sounding a little croaky, so you have to forgive me if I end up having an attack. I'll try to step out. I'm suffering.
Are you feeling any better today?
A little bit.
Yeah, that means no.
It's only like 10 days in. It's the head cold.
Yeah, that's because you're not resting. If you don't rest, it just takes longer to pass. I made that mistake with the C virus last year. It took me 7 weeks to get through something that should have taken me 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. Just saying.
Yeah.
Not fun. I just caught that thing. Just my son just looking at me. I'm like, don't
go away.
I know. And now I'm just like, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Just passing the joy around. Wade's all sick, and
everybody who has small children knows. This is the time of year. My niece and her whole family, except Marshmallow, are out right now with a stomach flu. Everybody but Marshmallow. So I'm hoping Marshmallow doesn't get it at the end of all of it, but the whole house. That's 4 of them.
God, all I know is give me a break. Just fed up.
That's 4 out of 5 that have stomach flu. That's pretty scary in Marshmallow's case.
I know.
I know. On the other side of the house. Oh my God.
I'm just opening up.
I'm like, send him off with his grandmother, man. Don't leave him there.
I'm just opening up some attachments here in case I have to show them. But
no problem.
I think Hamilton will be doing his show and tell. But I just want to have all this ready just in case he wants me to show them. Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
I'm good.
I'm trying to play with my settings, but
2.
I have to move too close to do that.
3.
Oh, there we go.
A minute.
Much better.
Okay, hold on. I'm just, okay, who's in? Ah.
That was Richard.
Yeah,
That was where'd you go?
Hi.
I know. You came in,
Yes.
you came out. Salutations. How are you?
I'm very good indeed. Yeah, just coming towards spring here in the Pyrenees. So,
Very
yeah,
nice. Very
starting
Yeah,
nice.
rub
to,
it in.
yeah,
Yeah,
some of
We had a
the,
snowstorm yesterday and freezing rain, but you rubbed that temperature in.
I know.
He's gone again.
The Pyrenees,
Oh,
it's spring. Be
Just
quiet.
moving that.
We're still getting rained on.
just
Freezing
before
rain.
spring,
snow.
yeah, but it's feeling like it's going to be
Oh,
another
she froze.
unduly.
Oh,
Yeah, we haven't had enough rain, but we are getting some beautiful, beautiful days. Clear skies and yeah, very sharp stars at night.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
All
So I
waiting.
guess, are you guys seeing like Jupiter and Venus and all that in the night skies?
Yeah, it's been super good, and we had that crazy comet the other a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
It
How'd
was,
that look for you? I mean, you're a night owl. Did you get to see it?
yeah, we got to see it from up in the Wren Plateau, emerald green, and just down to the right of Orion's Belt.
Very nice. Very nice.
we can't see anything. We have so much pollution here.
Yeah, I
It could
never
be right
gave it
over us. We wouldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that it was like T11 / something something. No one gave it a proper name. It was. It went
Something obscure. Oh, Hamilton.
Oh, great! Oh, right. I can't see me. Where do I find me?
We can't see you either. You have to just.
I'm
put
glad
your
to see
camera on.
nothing's changed.
Oh, I can't do this.
Ow.
How do I find me?
No, can't see it. Nope,
Nope.
you're gone.
Nobody finds you right now.
You have to make sure you give Stream. Well, you know this. Give StreamYard permission to put your camera.
Okay. What button
Click
do
the
I have
camera.
to press?
I don't know. You're not there.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Can
Yeah,
we?
click
Can.
the camera at the.
Carry on without me while I try and find it. You're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. Can they?
They can hear you, but you have to give access to the camera at the bottom of the screen.
Because this will make for a very
Oh.
interesting show and tell.
No.
Otherwise.
Present.
Yeah, I
Share
forgot
screen.
that was session. Yeah.
It doesn't work without them.
It
There we
doesn't
go.
give. I can't see a picture of a camera to actually do it. Sorry for being useless.
You're not useless.
No.
You might have to exit and come back in. It's probably from the start.
If you exit, it will ask you to give
Okay. All right.
StreamYard permission to use the camera and the microphone. But
Okay.
you've
no
been on
problem.
this.
Right.
You've been on the show so many times. It shouldn't even be asking you anymore. You should just know. So
That is so funny. He's
I
so
know.
funny.
So we're
Oh
gonna
my
put up some
god.
comments. Hello, Linda. And yes, we are, especially out this neck of the woods. Very blessed. And
Oh, lots of snow here. Hey, Zach. And Tamara.
everybody's
It's our third host.
chiming in.
Hello, Wayne. Oh,
Justin.
Wayne, I hope you're feeling better.
Did you find the link to YouTube? It will be posted on one of the posts on that Facebook page, I promise.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get the banner up while we're waiting. Anyway, there we go. Open discussion, updates. I should add show and tell, but I'm not so sure we're gonna have that. So,
He must have allowed the mic and didn't allow the camera from the initial.
that could be.
Well, who knows what he's working on as well? That strange, antiquated device Ham's using from Licky End.
He will not change it. He loves
He
it.
won't change the phone.
He loves it. Yeah.
One
I
day
know.
it will die.
One day it will die. But until it
And
dies.
then what? And then what do we do when it dies? What do we do,
Okay,
Hamilton?
he's back. I was going to send him a new link.
He's back.
It won't. Whatever I do, it won't let me connect to the camera.
Would
There's
you like
no.
me to send you another link?
Yeah, try it. There is no function that actually gives me any option to connect to the camera. Try me again. So on the different.
Yeah, what device are you using, sir?
A computer.
Yeah, I mean, the worst case scenario, you may want to just reboot and switch off and switch back on again. It could be that your built-in camera is disabled in some way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Okay. And I'm sending you
try that.
another
Send
link.
me another link. Yeah, you just
Right
carry
now.
on without me.
Yeah, if you shut down and then restart and go to the new link, that might do it.
I think he's gone.
He's gone. All right, let's just do it. So,
Yeah, he's
Richard,
gone.
how are things out your neck of the woods? What you been up to with all the nice weather?
Well, here I am, still living in the heart of the Devil's Pentagram, and right in the smack dab in the
That's-
zone. So there's
Lord.
never a dull moment around here, and quite a lot going on. We've just survived another Blue Apple Day, 17th of January, which is always a crazy date, and I'm glad to
Talk
say
about that. For those who don't know, what is a Blue Apple Day?
Yeah, Blue Apple Day, 17th of January. It's the feast day of Saint Sulpice, but it's also a crucial date in the Rennes le Chateau calendar. It's the anniversary of the stroke that killed Berenger Saunier, the original demonic priest who basically made Rennes le Chateau into the unique village that it is today. And it's also the anniversary of the stroke that took down his loyal partner and housekeeper, Mary de Nana, multiple years later on the anniversary of his death. So,
Wow.
That
yeah.
is obscure. I did not know
There's
that
no
it was
coincidence.
per the day.
yeah, freaky as all hell.
It is actually. So you call him like Sonia, the demonic priest. Aside from what's in the church, what's the story behind that, or is it just because of what's in the church?
Well, what's in the church is, I guess, is immediately brings the word demonic to one's attention, because
Yeah.
and basically Sonia arrived with penniless and as a regular humble parish priest, and as the story is handed down to us, he conducted certain renovations in the old church, moved the altar, and allegedly found some form of fabulous treasure. No one can agree on what the treasure was. All we do know is that he became insanely rich and used the money to remodel the top of the Rennes Plateau, basically. Did everything up there, from cutting the road to building the Tour Magdala and building this massive domain for himself, the Villa Bethany, and restoring the church in the elaborate sort of Art Deco demonic style that it is today, with the statue of Asmodeus, the allegedly prince of demons, in the doorway looking down at the chessboard floor, and the icon
chessboard floor is fascinating as well.
Yeah, a lot of folk call this area the Devil's Chessboard as a result, and that the layout with the chessboard on the floor of the church immediately puts one in mind of the traditional layout of a Masonic lodge, and which itself is echoing the
Right.
archetypal layout of the Temple of Solomon.
That's
Hence-
right. As is the demon.
Yeah, hence the
Who
presence
betrayed
of
Solomon, yeah.
the goddamn demon in the church
Yeah.
doorway.
Yeah.
There's also beaucoup references to Jacob's ladder.
Yes.
The Bethel references kind of cast towards this idea of the ladder that links between heaven and hell. That's where the line over the church door comes. Over the door, Sonia had written "Terribilis est locus iste." Terrible is this place, which is a pretty crazy thing to have over the church door, but it defines Rennes pretty well. And the base bottom line is nobody knows where the money came from. There's a lot of different speculation about it, but he might as well have done a deal with the devil, or stolen the gold of the little people, for all we know. But he became intensely rich, and then passed suddenly while apparently still in good health. The legend is he goes in and has a coffin made for himself, and then has a massive stroke on the 17th of January. I can't remember exactly what year.
It wasn't that long ago, was it? Like the 80s
Yeah.
or something like that?
It was somewhere immediately after World War One. I
Right.
seem to recall, when Sonia checked out, at which point it was discovered that none of it was in his name, that he was essentially a pauper, and all of the money and the property was in the name of his loyal Confederate and housekeeper, Mary de Nana, believed by
Somebody
many
was clever.
to be his lover. And Marie lived on in the house all the way through the the years after World War I, the 20s and 30s, all the way through World War II, until the 1950s, when she finally ran out of money. And at that point, she famously approached a young businessman, Noel Corbu, and told him that if you buy the house and the lands and promise to keep me until the end of my days, I will tell you a secret that will make you both rich and immensely powerful. And Noel falls for this and buys the domain. And then shortly afterwards, on the 17th of January, the anniversary of Sonia's death, Marie is struck down by a stroke, which allegedly leaves her paralyzed and unable to speak. And according to Noel, her lips move continuously for 24 hours, but no sound issues forth, and she dies and takes the secret with her.
She couldn't write it down.
Yeah, you'd think that would have been the logical thing. And
Sorry, criminal mind.
Yeah.
So my mind goes like, you could have used a pen.
Yeah, she was pretty infuriating because she led a lot of folk on. Saying things like, "You people are walking on gold and you don't know it," and making predictions about the future glory of Ren. But when she died, there was nothing to be shown for it.
There's a big when you go into, of course, what is now the gift shop. There's this big giant hole that goes down, through the floor, and it's like a pit, and they've just got this big plexiglass over it. Is that where he was allegedly supposed to be going down to every night, where people used to see him digging in the graves?
No, there was probably the pit underneath the gift shop floor, I think, was dug by either Noel Corbu or Henri Boutillon. Oh,
okay. Man. Interesting, because it's there. Still can't see you, Hamilton.
Hamilton, man, I don't know what to say.
There is no function that enables me to turn the camera on. I've been through all my computer settings. There is nothing. All I got is a grey box with a line through the camera, and there is no settings to change it.
Okay, so have you tried shutting down and rebooting?
Yep.
And there's nowhere where it says stop cam?
Yeah, if I press stop camera, it doesn't make any difference. I just disappear completely.
Oh,
there is
wow.
Yeah, we see you in the bottom.
Is your camera blocked?
No, it's not blocked at all. It's the same as normal. All I've got is a grey box, and there's a line through the camera, and there is no function anywhere for me to turn the camera on. There's nothing in settings, nothing on stop camera, nothing at all.
Can you use your phone to come on?
I can try it, yeah. Okay, yeah, give me a sec. I'll try it that way then. Okay.
That sounds like a good move.
Well, then we'll know if it's the computer or not.
Sorry, again, criminal mind.
Fair enough.
Exhaust every possibility.
Have you spent any time in Ren?
Yes, I found it fascinating, to say the least. It's a different. It probably leaves me, or it's left me with more questions. It's like an enigma, It's just its own anomaly. You walk through. I found the energy to be quite interesting, but it's just, I don't know. It's just. I'm walking around. I'm looking. I feel like there should be more than what you see, and I know there's more than what you see. My son was with me. He knew. He's ready to jump the wall and just go through, just end up on the other side into the cemetery, because I know. I was like, oh boy. But I get drawn a lot to the entrance that's down the hill. There's ruins down there. I'm sure you know what they are. You do a lot of tours and events down there. And I feel a connection to that more than the top of the mountain. So what goes under the mountain from that area, though?
Oh, there's a lot down there, depending on... Yeah, I mean, so there's still folds and wrinkles in the zone that even I don't know about, which are happening.
Hi, Keith. How are you?
Yeah, that's better. Sorry about that. It wasn't my fault. It's obviously computer glitch somewhere down the line. I'm here now.
Well,
I love that you just put ham
Did I? Oh, sorry. I just no. Don't worry. I'm here now.
That
Anyway.
works for me, sir.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Let me just wedge the
Richard
phone
was
somewhere.
just telling us about the mysteries of Rennes-le-Chateau and what's underneath.
Oh, I'll leave you to it then. I'll sit and listen.
Yeah.
Carry on, Rich. It's really interesting.
Well, good to have you here. Well, there'd be plenty underneath the plateau. I mean, we don't know exactly what's down there, but the general consensus is there is a cavity beneath the church, and there's certainly catacombs down there, and these catacombs were partly flooded until they were secretly pumped out back in the I think the 1990s. When there was quite a lot of prodding around. The tunnel underneath the ticket office is probably from either Noel Corbu or Henri Boutillon, who came after him, who also really dug up the plateau and was the one who used dynamite to try and break through to the cavity, which caused the cracks that are now in the church roof, managed to destabilize the place a little.
Who does that? Seriously.
Allegedly a secret Vatican ultrasound scan of the place back in the 90s as well.
Right.
So folk know what's under it.
What would the Vatican want with Ren?
What wouldn't they want with Ren?
What
Yeah,
do they all want with Ren?
Maybe they know. Maybe they know where everything is. Maybe they've removed it.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know what it was. I mean, my first real initiator in the Ren mystery was Marcel Captier, who was the grandson of the bell ringer who basically worked for Sonia back in the day. And Marcel used to insist the only real mystery was that there were little people, fairy folk underneath the plateau that played tricks of people's minds. Which was
you say that. I've had people say that to me.
Yeah, that's the first thing I heard when I came in the door at the beginning. It still makes as much sense as anything else.
For that region?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I say yes.
What's your scarf, Hamilton? Sorry.
Yeah. I was getting. Yeah, Hamilton, you got something to add, yeah.
Do what?
Where's your scarf?
My scarf is next door, but hang on a minute. I do have my Canada t-shirt, right?
Yeah,
now,
which is like 4 times the size of you.
I mean, this would fit a gorilla. I've no idea what you thought.
Notice there's a moose on it, Hamilton.
Look at it.
The
It's
moose
huge.
is like a
Yeah, wash it
synchronicity.
and it'll be half the size.
But the moose is like a synchronicity. There's something else we talk about.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's a nice gesture, but really, honestly, I could get 2 of me in that. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what happens when you buy online. You never see anything till it gets there, and then you're like, "What the hell?" It was more so you could hang it just for the laugh.
Yeah, I know, like a flag. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
It's a nice gesture. Thank you very much.
And stop drinking that beer.
Which one? No,
I know. That's what I always say. Why are you
The
drinking
one that refers to the moose.
That's what I'm talking about. It's better than that.
No, we don't advertise that stuff, though. They don't pay for us to talk about it. You better be drinking Folgers.
There we go. Yes.
Got it.
That's right.
Yeah, just note to Folgers. Hamilton says he's the poster boy for Folgers and wants crisps.
Definitely. Yeah.
Crisps. Send him crisps.
What's this different thing we're on then? What is this Roku thing? I tried to Google it and just got confused.
Oh, it's like Netflix. Only better. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bigger.
Yeah, you need like a Fire Stick or some kind of a device to get you on it. Like apparently you cannot. It's an Amazon thing, I think.
Right.
Like an Android box, but it has channels on it.
Right.
And
So
that's
it's
where
television.
Roku is. And we are live on Roku tonight.
Yeah, we're live on there
Oh,
right now.
okay.
So hello, Roku. Everybody on Roku.
Hello.
Hello.
Whatever you are, hello. Whoever you are.
Hello. I know.
Is that just like an internet television channel, or is it like something you watch on normal? No. Oh, okay.
Now, if you have like on this side of the world, I'm sure maybe I don't know what they would call them up there. Probably the same. It's like a Fire Stick. It just looks like this little stick thingy. You stick it in your television, and it gives you. It is internet TV to a degree, much like Netflix would be or Apple Television. It has to be on some kind of a device.
Yeah.
Right.
Apple
I see.
Television is a great example because
Yeah.
there's other channels on there. It's not just Roku.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. I haven't
Smart
got any
TV.
of them, but I'm sure it's very interesting.
You know, the smart TV, the ones that spy on you, listen to everything you're doing.
Right. Okay. So in theory, that means more people watch, does it? Than
That's
normal?
right.
Because right.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
They grew like wildfire in the last 10 years because I remember them. Well, it's a whole other conversation, but I remember it being introduced into my life about 6 or 7 years ago, and I didn't know who they were. Now it was just like, wow, you
There's
know,
everything.
but
Hundreds of channels.
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But because now they're in Canada, but they weren't at the time when I was speaking to someone about a production. They weren't in Canada, so I didn't know who they were. But in a less than, that time, they're huge here now.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, as you know, I'm not exactly up to speed on modern technology, so but no, okay. Thank you. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, there we go. So, what have you been up to?
What have I been doing for the last 2 months? I've been completely disappeared, solving sort of everybody else's problems. Seem to be what I've been doing. So hence I've been a bit below the radar, and yeah, I think we're winning slowly. Put it that way. But oh god, I mean, it just feels like 2 months have gone by of this year, and absolutely nothing has happened at the moment. It just seems to be swamped with everybody else's headaches, but it's coming to an end, hopefully. It really is. But no, I mean, when were we on last? Was it January?
December
was it, or December?
29th.
Oh,
December
God,
29th of last year.
that's
So we're
right,
kind of like picking up where we left off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I
Henry
got
Lincoln
back on
Library was the last
Henry's
big
stuff.
news.
Yeah. Well, I finished rummaging through Henry's stuff, and I've got that in some sort of order. Which actually, that was really good fun going through all of that, and there were some interesting things in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's attracted a fresh batch of sort of misfits, lunatics, and social inadequates getting in touch with me over God only knows what. But
Hope they're
it's
not
part
watching.
of the adventure, isn't it? Really. And I'm whatever the society is that Henry was part of 20, 30 years ago. Richard, what's it called again? I've forgotten. The thing that Joy runs.
Oh, you're talking about the Saunier Society, sir?
That's it, the Saunier Society. Yeah, I seem to have been invited to the Saunier Society for some unknown reason. Fancy that, eh?
Oh,
Really?
like the Da Vinci Code.
Wow.
So I'm due to go down to whatever their meeting is, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do, but apparently I'm going. So I'll tell you when I've been, what I'm doing. So that's going to be interesting.
Well,
Cool.
have you thought about, I mean, since Henry did most of his life up there in his research, have you thought about approaching them and bringing the collection like there on display or anything of that nature and as being part of the museum?
Well, they haven't actually got any museum as such. I mean, as far as I know, the Saunier Society kind of exists in name only, as far as I'm aware. Which is,
Right.
I don't know how many members they've got, but they're all the people who've been there that were drawn into the whole Rennes Chateau thing and the mystery thing, going back to the days of when Henry was on form. And you know more about it than I do, Richard. You've worked with them. They haven't really got a base, have they, as such, that I'm aware of?
As far as I can see, no one has really done anything to try to permanently preserve any of the material relating to the mystery. I don't think anyone's had the idea of a museum or an archive specifically dedicated to this material, mostly because maybe folk never really thought it would come to an end or didn't think that they would. And in all honesty, everyone now from that period's gone. The entire bunch had been pretty much wiped out, and that's along with Henry. I'm thinking obviously Urani the sorcerer, Alan Farrell, the chappie who basically mapped David Wood, Elizabeth Van Buren, who really first came up with the space-time portal, dimensional portal concept. But yeah, the whole bunch of them are gone, and I'd love to see a museum devoted to it. But some of the problems with the neo-Cathars, the local folks still don't think there's any reason to preserve recent history. It's like folk will preserve stuff
That's
century.
crazy.
There's
Really?
no desire to preserve stuff from the earlier part of the 20th century, or the stuff which is obviously now vanishing into the mists of obscurity.
Right.
I mean, having now gone through Henry's books, it's actually a more interesting batch of stuff than I thought it was initially. I mean, there's probably about, I'm guessing, 800 or 900 history books that relate to what Henry was writing about and studying, which all of those are pretty good. And I've got those stacked now in plastic boxes, so they're not going to deteriorate. There was probably 160, 180 copies of his own books in every language you can imagine and duplicates of every format, which some of those can be thinned out on because I don't really need 180 copies of the same book particularly. But there was lots of things. There was some interesting letters and some interesting personal stuff that related to him and some of his ideas. And no, I'm very glad that I actually made the effort to go and get it. And when you start flicking through the books, there's a lot of things where he's got his own handwritten little notes in the margins and his thoughts on particularly other people's works, that other authors who'd sent him books that he's read and put little witty comments along the side. It needs something doing with it, but it's now sorted. It's quite safe. Everything's all packed up properly, so it's not going to deteriorate. And what was damaged and rubbish or no use is out of the way now. So yeah, it was actually a good fun couple of weeks rummaging through it and sourcing it really. A few people have asked me for little souvenirs and trinkets of Henry, which I've sent various boxes out to countries around the world. So yeah, I think for once everybody's actually happy with me, which is really unusual.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
So
great.
yeah, that's sort of that's signed off for the moment. It's, I suppose, the next thing, as Richard says, is find somewhere to put it. And I mean, there is still the possibility that all of Andrew Sinclair's archives are kicking about trying to find a permanent home. I mean, God knows how many books you've got in your place, Rich. There must be several thousand there at some point to do something with. There's a really good
I'm taking them with
basis.
me.
Oh, okay, bury them with you, not a problem. Yeah, sort of problem. But sort of between the living and the dead, there's probably 5,000 books that really would be a cracking library if you could find somewhere to put it.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Is I had all these great minds, and in the end, where does it go? If you don't rescue it doesn't go somewhere, it disappears.
Yeah, but I mean, at least now Henry stuff is all together, and it's the nucleus of all the important stuff that he'd got is all in one place. It's all perfectly safe, and it's just actually nice, even if just occasionally I go and open a box and have a dig through it, because there's so much on, sort of Rennes Chateau and the geometry, and irritatingly a lot of books are in French, so I can only look at the pictures. But it's a very good selection of stuff going back 40 or 50 years, because a lot of the books were obviously things he was buying in the sort of 60s and 70s when he first started his research. So they're copies of things I've never seen.
Oh wow! So you have all these duplicates. Are you considering like parting with any of them?
Well,
you have duplicates of his own books,
Well, all I'm going to part with really is just the duplicates, because I think in total Henry did five books, I think, and I've extracted about 30 or 40 of them, which have got either letters from his publishers or his printers or something that goes with them, or they're signed by the authors. And then that leaves a great big box full that can be parted with, simply because I don't need to store that amount of duplicate books. So It hasn't started yet, but a friend of mine's putting a website up, and we're just going to drip feed them through bit at a time. And
Do you want me to put the site up? Can I put that?
yeah,
up?
you can do. Yeah, I mean, if you got it.
Here.
It's disappeared. Hang on, something's moving across.
alchemistfurnace.com. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I
That's
mean,
it,
there's
yeah.
just a few things. Yeah, that's it. So yes, if anybody else wants a little souvenir of Henry, there are a few things left, but the vast majority of it is now sat in my stores while we decide where we go next with it. Really, but like everything else, the job sheet of things to do. I think sorting Henry's stuff by location is on about page 17 of the job sheet at the moment, so probably not going to happen this week.
Right. So let's talk a collaboration. I mean, we've got this whole Cathar thing coming up in the south of France. Is this going to line up with the Saunier talk that you get to do? Like, are you going to be able to go back and connect up with Richard?
What's the dates, Richard? I've forgotten. I'm so addled on dates. When's kick-off in France?
Well, we're kind of amping up to March 16. March 16th has traditionally been an extremely dangerous date for us. So the south of France this year, it's the 779th anniversary of the fall of Montsegur, the largest mass burning of so-called witches and heretics in European history, which happened on March 16th, 1244, 779 years ago. We're now in 2023. I guess you can add up 779 to get another 23 out of it, and it lands on March 16th. The whole Neo-Cathar movement's kind of been on a sabbatical the last few years, thanks to a bunch of different pressures, the COVID lockdowns, general fear of any mass assemblies taking place. So this is really the first time in a bunch of years that we've seen a convergence on the scale of so many of the I guess different proponents of the hidden tradition, and that basically the plan is to everyone to assemble around the Martyrs Memorial at approximately 10:30, 11 a.m. on March 16th, and at that point the names of the martyrs of 1244 will be read out and repeated, which is a yearly gesture, and the old songs will be sung, and a bunch of different folk will be in attendance. And then this year, the village of Montsegur is participating and hosting the event. So this will be followed by a banquet at the Salle de Fête and a concert of Occitan music. A bunch of extremely good local singers and traditional musicians. The songs are central to what's happening there. I think the castle and whatever forces at work there really likes some of that stuff. It particularly likes Le Boyer, the shepherdess song, and there's something about the repetition of the songs and the tonal frequencies that the place itself likes, and reconnects it with the troubadour tradition, really. So I think March 16th looks set to be a great day. There's a lot of folk going to be present who have been keeping their heads down the last few years. And, we're all fingers
like
crossed.
The whole energy thing going on. Yeah, sounds. I think it could be amazing, and I think to certain people it can be very empowering as well. So will that line up with you having the opportunity to talk with the Saunier group, Hamilton? Are you going to go down for this? This sounds like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, the Saunier Society thing that Hamilton's meant to address.
Do the Saunier people come over to that one?
I couldn't hear you. No, I didn't hear what Hamilton said.
Yeah, we didn't hear you, Hamilton.
Sorry, I didn't get any of that. Do the Saunier lot
You're cutting
answer
out.
that? Was it purely the
You're cutting out, Hamilton.
You're cutting out, so we can hardly hear you. We're getting some interference.
I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything.
Oh, poor Hamilton.
I know. Can you?
I can't
Yeah,
hear
we
a
can't,
thing.
you're cutting out for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cutting out for us. And then you freeze up and then you come back. There. Can you hear us? Can you hear us okay, Hamilton?
Uh-oh.
Try coming back in. Try coming back in.
Yeah, we lost him.
I'm just going to see if he can come back. I guess he'll come back in. Okay. Okay.
Well, we'll just have to see what happens on March 16th. The Hamilton's date with the Thornier Society is set for London. It's going to be March 21st.
Oh,
So if he picks it up,
First day of
he's going to have to do a fast turnaround and make it back out again. And
yeah. Well, I was going to ask him if he was going to come out your way to partake in this.
we've been trying to tempt him, and I've been trying to tempt him to come back this way and bring the what's it in the box that I'm not supposed to talk about.
Oh, okay. Can you hear us now?
Okay, have a look again.
Yeah, perfect.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you fine now.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
We've
You
got
must
you
have just,
too.
I've just got a bad connection or there's problems at my end.
yeah. Okay, we'll get through it. We'll get through
It's
it.
gone again. Gosh.
So we were just asking Richard about getting you to go over to France
Nothing
for this
there.
whole thing on the 16th. Are you going to go?
Oh,
Okay.
for the love of God.
Okay.
Yeah, we have these problems. So it's, I don't know whether he'll make it or not. I think he can get in all right.
His internet seems to be dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went into the zone. I think it's possible to fly Hamilton in here. Getting him out again might be tricky.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just have to see which way that lands.
Well, if you have a lot of people going in too, it's too bad you couldn't get it happening during the summer months. Mind you, it may just bring, because of the whole movement, it might just bring a really good amount of people over this summer. I think last year people were still a bit concerned, about traveling, but this year there's all kinds of people making plans.
But they're also getting stuck at airports.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, I feel about this. I've just got no signal. There's just nothing. It just constantly
dropped.
cutting out.
Yeah. Okay, well, hopefully you'll be able to stay with us on this. So, okay, so I was just asking if you were going to France for this event.
I did actually look at going over because it sounds really interesting and it's a completely different bunch of people that I've never come across before. The problem I got, it was easy enough for me to get out there, but trying to get a flight back again didn't work quite so well, or thus far hasn't worked quite so well, put it that way.
Oh.
But
Even
no, it
if you
does
do
sound
it
an interesting do.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange date because it's traditionally it's a very dangerous time. It's a gloomy time of year because we are celebrating. It is marking the fall of the castle and the deaths of the martyrs. And then over the years, a lot of like Blue Apple Day, a lot of pretty ghastly things have happened on March the 16th, including
Really?
March 16th, 1944, when there was a Nazi panzer column in the village of Montsegur, and a bunch of folk were accused of being partisans and summarily executed. But it's traditionally quite a dangerous day. I would say that, March 15th is the day H.P. Lovecraft died. March 14th
Is there
the
anything on the 19th,
Ram
Richard?
died. Was it?
Is there anything on the 19th? You're kind of freaking me out. I know it's St.
Yeah.
Joseph's Day and it's my birthday. Please don't tell me there's anything on the 19th. That's
Yeah,
ominous.
I think free and clear of the Ides of March, but yeah,
Yes.
so it's an odd day. It's a celebration, but at the same time, it's marking a bunch of the martyrs and the things that happened in the past. So it's not quite
Wow.
it's not quite a touristic thing.
No wonder they had to throw St. Joseph in there.
Yeah, and it's a very connected place. The place likes it to be, those things to be remembered, and right now it's in a very odd transitional stage because it whatever is at work, forces at work there, wants to remanifest. It's been kind of held back by a bunch of different pressures: the COVID lockdowns, the basically the French government's antipathy towards what it takes to be a regionalist movement with a potentially separatist agenda. So it's been tricky over the last few years, and now I think there's folk are being less cautious, and there's been a number of I think extremely positive signs and portents. The one thing that I wish I could show to Ham is there's been a recent archaeological discovery in the Montsegur vicinity, which I have to say is not yet in known to conventional archaeology because no one's told them. But basically, and I can't say exactly where, a network of what appear to be Roman era tunnels have come to light. Immediately, in the vicinity under the Pog.
Really?
Wow.
The connected to the subterranean river that flows under the mountain. There's a basically the Lasset River disappears on one side of the Pog and rises again on the other side at another source, and a system of what appear to be Roman, similar to Roman era aqueducts has come to light. Which tends to indicate that the Romans were present in the Montsegur area, which
was he not present at like Rennes-le-Chateau, like really early on? Like
the Romans are all over this place because of the iron in the mountains, and
so they would have. It would make sense, I think, that they would have been. I mean, such close proximity. Or is the timing different?
Otto Rahn always insisted that the ruin on top of the mountain that was refortified by Escamond de Foix back in 1205 was originally a Roman construction. He suggests a crusade against the Grail that it may have been a Roman temple to Artemis, and I'd always been like in sort of Life of Brian fashion reticent about the idea that the Romans might have built Montsegur. So I kind of slightly balked at the idea and resisted it. But I guess the what I've been seeing lately is growing evidence to support the idea that the Romans were indeed there, and also that there are tunnels underneath that mountain, which yet to be explored, and this is
exciting.
Yet
That's
to be
very exciting.
by conventional archaeology, but I think Montsegur is having a moment.
Yeah, very, very exciting.
Exciting and creepy.
Super exciting. I love it. Oh, even the creepy factor.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's just really, you got to wonder, you know all of this, but how much more is there that you really don't know?
A lot. 99%. I think that we're still know very little about what we're actually dealing with. We tend to project our own desires and our own cultural concepts onto it. As to what it really is, it's pretty protean. I do believe that there's some form of for want of a better term, supernatural force at work on the mountain. But
very interesting
to define it.
Log out.
Poor Hamilton.
He can't
Hamilton
hear.
had furiously.
You might have to go outside, Hamilton. Start with that. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now, Hamilton? Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Hamilton? No.
He doesn't seem to be able to see or hear us.
Yeah, you can't hear us at all.
That's frustrating, and it's 3 a.m. Wow.
Okay. Well, let him come back in. I think
I
he
feel
keeps
for him.
freezing, and then he comes back, and I think the entire language area is governed by a supernatural force. I truly believe that. I just think it's one of those places. I've had the luxury of traveling to many different parts of the world, and there's always something unique about everywhere I've been, that I'm always drawn to, obviously, or otherwise I wouldn't bother going. And there was something about the south of France, quite different than the northern part of France. It's just it's just got a mystique about it. You just know when you're just walking around, aside from the history, you just know that there's something about it that it speaks to you, and you just have to know how to hear it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
we all try and define it, and
Yeah,
it's so hard to actually put your finger on it. I mean,
it is, but it's extraordinary. It's just extraordinary. I truly believe that if you just listen and pay attention, you really see a lot more than you think you will, and you'll hear a lot more than you think you will. Bubbles, you want to get that one? Hey, hello.
Yeah, Jay says, hi Jay, says, what about the prehistory of the area? Is there any really early archaeology there?
Yeah. We've got pretty much the earliest archaeology in Europe going on, and that throughout the Ariège and the Ardèche, there's the earliest examples of Cro-Magnon rock art. I mean, you've got all of the most famous cave paintings pretty much in the world, and Lascaux, Troy Frere with its shaman figure with its antlers and the leaping and dancing of its wolf tail, and the goddess fertility figure around my neck, with a lot of stuff carved out of horse teeth and mammoth ivory. So Hamilton's having major.
Yeah, he can't hear. He can't hear anything. I don't know.
Poor guy, 3 a.m.
I know.
Seriously.
He's champion for being here. Oh my gosh.
He's patient. I'd be so pissed right now.
Yeah, she'll try again.
Oh, I'd be throwing things at this point.
Goes way back, and there's even remains in some of the caves that are pre-human, certified at least pre-hominid. There's one stone ring which is embedded so far into the limestone in the cave floor that it predates the point at which Cro-Magnon man emerged in this region. So the only logical explanation is that Neanderthals were already building stone circles and undertaking ritual practices even before Homo sapiens turned up. So super ancient remains, which I guess is grist to the mill that something has been probably present here for a super long time.
Yeah, there's evidence of ancient civilizations all over Europe. Yeah, Hamilton just wrote in Facebook he can't hear anything.
Yeah, he just sent me that message too.
No, I'm saying he just put it in the chat room.
Yeah, I saw it, and I just got it too. So I was going to say, speaking of goddess stuff, as part of the show and tell.
Hamilton's got some show and tell too. Yeah, Ham had some show and tell. He had some.
He's got some of
the prehistoric.
I've got the photos, and he's got the pieces. He needs to be able to connect, be able to to talk about them,
Can
of course.
does he want to talk text
But
to
in the
his
meantime,
phone?
we'll forge ahead until we can get there.
Yeah,
Go
Grail
ahead.
Queen, hello. Says any truth to the story of Daniel Beddix and Mount Boogerock that he found a link between an old hearth in a chateau on the mountain, then the hearth was destroyed. Oh, I heard that. I heard him drop the phone.
Can you hear us
I'm back.
okay?
Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we
back.
can hear
You're
you.
fully
Am I
back. I don't know,
Okay,
man.
look,
You're
so,
back.
look, I can hear you now, but it just I miss 75% of everything. The signal's so bad, I just have no idea what you're on about.
You might be.
Okay.
I'll carry on, but if I disappear, I'll disappear.
Okay, well, while we have you then, let's just put this question on hold for a quick moment.
I'm happy
Because
to.
Richard's with us the whole time, so we know we can get to it.
Okay.
Let's get to your goddess statues, which is where he actually left off with prehistory in the region. So you have got your goddess, your prehistoric goddess statue. Nope. And gone. Okay. And gone. Okay.
Maybe try sitting outside. You can't hear anything. Oh.
Text Hamilton and say, show us your artifacts. Show us your goddesses. Hold them up to the camera. We can see them.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah, but if he can't explain them,
Sure,
maybe Richard can.
Where they came from, and I can't tell you exactly where he acquired them either.
Yeah, that's
then that's part of the whole my frustration with the situation with Hamilton, because he's sitting on so many incredible artifacts, and there's so many things that guy has locked in his shed that I
we don't want to give the location.
Yeah, and the provenance of those things, where they came from, and what's actually in the box is something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hamilton sees that. Okay, so I'm gonna go in 1 second, and I'm going to share up a.
If he plugs his phone in, it might give him extra.
Okay. There. So I'm putting up a picture, and if you can type in the chat room, okay, what it is. Okay, we're gonna improvise. We're gonna do this with different pictures. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and if you're just tuning in and you're listening or you're not watching, no worries, because we will be reading that out to you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah.
He's just going to type it in chat, and then
we'll... you put it in the wrong chat. Okay. That's okay.
Which chat is it in? Oh, got it. Okay, no, that's okay. That's okay. Is this coming through? Okay, I'm going to go.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay. All right, so he's going to basically write what it is, and Amelia, you can see it?
Yeah, I can. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
you can read it. It doesn't matter.
Okay. You take care of that chat, and I'll go into the main chat. How about that?
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
I'll just wait for him to type the whole story. Now it's really cute because all we can see is his hat.
Yep. Okay, and then we'll get to your question as well, Grail Queen. We're just going to take care of this while we have him.
Yeah, I tease Hamilton because he's like a little brother. But yeah.
Okay, good.
Very, very bright, smart, intelligent little brother.
Okay. So he's going to write what this is. Amelia will read it off. And
as soon as it comes through.
Alrighty.
You might hear my dog whining in the background because he can't get comfortable, so he's crying. It's okay.
Okay, I don't know. I'm messing around with it. Sorry, I shouldn't play with it. Okay. So that's he's got a lot of these
okay, there he goes.
Okay, read it.
He said that figure is very early goddess with child Venus figure, type found in France, I believe. I don't have the accent, sorry.
Okay. Okay, so that's not. Where was it found? Can you type that out to him, Amelia? Or
he wrote type found in France, I believe. I can't type back because my keyboard is up there.
Okay, so let me just go back in. Yeah, type found in France, I believe. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to go into another one. Okay, 1 minute. Let me go into this guy right over here. And we're going to go in and we're going to share this up again. Window. Bam. Share. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, go, Hamilton.
Oh, this looks like a Siamese bear.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay.
Okay, Hamilton wrote, maybe the earliest piece of human art that depicts a mother and child.
Well, that's the other one then. What is this one? Okay, so I'm just going to write that
It looks more like a
for the
two-headed
first. Okay, this one. Okay, yeah, I can type. Okay. Looks like kind of came in and out there for a second.
He's got a good eye because the other one, it's hard to see.
I would not have been able to see that.
No,
Not at all.
no, this is different.
So these are pictures, but these are in Hamilton's private collection. So,
Which is generously sharing with us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hamilton has an excellent Lost Gods collection.
Yeah.
We're always happy to get show and tell, believe me.
He just, everything finds him.
He's frozen, I think, at this
Pardon?
point.
He's frozen?
I think so.
No. Well,
Oh, no.
yeah.
On the move again. Okay.
Yeah.
I see the top of that moving. Okay. Okay. Is Hamilton? I can only see his hat. Yes, we can only see his hat. He's typing at the moment, I believe. I know. So he has a very bad internet connection. He's not hearing us.
Yeah.
And I think while he's typing, we're going to have to look at the top of his hat for a little bit.
That's okay. Cave bear with 2 heads. I was right.
Okay, exactly. Okay.
You guessed it in 10 seconds.
Okay.
To me, because of the closeness of the heads is like Siamese, right? So
It's anything that
this next
was
one.
the cave
1
bear is
second.
two
but
cave
the other
bears.
one I would have fallen over if somebody tried to get me to do
Looking on
that.
this one too. All right. Share. There we go.
Oh, okay. That looks like 2 people.
Yep. I'm going down here because I know I missed one someplace in here. So I'm going to 1, 2. Oh, there it is. Okay. Double Venus. Where is it? Okay. Why don't I have this one? Attachment. Okay, there we go.
Notice they're all the same color too.
I can't do that one.
Oh, cave bears have been extinct for at least 24,000 years.
Wow. That's craziness.
Holy crap. That's how old that statue, that little sculpture is.
Yeah, that's craziness.
It does that. The fact that they're all the same tone and color, are they coming from the same area?
No. Okay. Amelia.
Oh, sorry.
Amelia asks. Hold on.
It's too bad he can't hear us.
I know. Guys, bear with me.
It's super
Amelia
bizarre.
is asking. Same color, same found in same area. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to try that. Okay. And there's one more here that I'm going to try to come in and grab to show. So just bear with me. My bad, I totally forgot this one. Okay. And anyway, alrighty. Oh, there's another one coming through. Alrighty, I love you. Thank you, Ray. We love you for your patronage and support. I love you guys all for being in chat. You just make it that much more exciting. So thank you, thank you.
Wouldn't
So
be the
we're waiting
same.
on this one here. Okay, so we'll go back to private chat. Yeah, so if you can see, he's probably putting a response to Amelia's question. And we'll leave this one up for a moment. And then I'm going to go in and grab.
This one's so interesting because you can see two figures, but yet I can also see one side of it on the right side almost look like the anatomical heart of a human.
Oh,
Yeah.
up here. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Could just be from the wear and tear over the years too, right? The erosion.
Yeah, I think he's frozen again.
Yeah, I think so too. He's not moving at all.
No, I think we're frozen. You're frozen. Okay. We'll come back over here. Like a floating hat. I know. What material
Oh,
is
there
this
he
of?
is.
Oh, okay.
These early carvings are way older than science chooses today. Dating on human art may well be anywhere over 50,000 years older than currently acknowledged. That is fascinating.
Okay, what are they made of? Okay. Okay. That's a question. It was gone. Totally. Okay. All right. So we'll just wait. We'll come back and then we'll get some insight on this one.
You see everything Hamilton has found or has found him. I got to wonder about how many things are still out there to come.
Looks like sandstone, Tamara says. Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Do you have sandstone in the south of France, Richard?
Yeah, but there's a bunch of different things. Predominantly, most of the goddesses and the early bits of carvings and cave art tend to be white or made out of white substances. We got them out of horses' teeth. We've got them out of mammoth ivory.
Wow.
And in the Montsegur area specifically, they had a habit of carving a soft white stone that's unique to the region, which is
like a soapstone.
Yeah, it's this Imrus HARG thing, which is the same substance that the Imrus group, or the mountaintop mining company, is trying to get out of the mountain. It's this a local equivalent of epithite of the spice or whatever. It's some kind of white stone, similar to soapstone that the ancient folk really seemed to dig carving their statues out of, mostly because it was soft and white, and that's
not camel like this. Like that was the first thing that I noticed was it's so sandy looking. It's not,
Hamilton's going to go into one of the Facebook chats and he will comment directly there, and then I'll put up the comment for everybody.
Yeah, it'd probably be easier for him to there.
That sounds good. Okay.
That is really interesting. That was the first thing that I caught on was the color.
Yeah.
Limestone, I don't know. Limestone in Canada is normally white.
Yeah, but you have to understand this is like really old.
I know, but even with the little divots in it and stuff, you would be able to see. He can watch it perfectly on Facebook. That's just great.
Okay, then Hamilton, tell us. We had one question. Basically, what material is the stone? As I guess a sculpture. Do you know?
We can't have any dead air. We're just waiting for him to respond. There he is. That was quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh,
that is two Venus goddesses holding a child between them.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
See,
okay.
Right out of.
I have 33
of them. But do you know what type of material they are made out of?
Yeah, Hamilton, if you can see the comment up here.
Yeah.
What material are these sculptures?
That would be, it's just
33.
How do you know too? How do you know? You have to test it. Richard, wouldn't you have to carve like a piece of it out or scrape some of it out to analyze it? Oh, he said some are limestone, some are marble type stone, and one is granite.
Okay. That's interesting. I think I'm
Yeah.
going to. Okay, I'm going to put up the next one. Okay. 1 second. Let me get rid of this guy and let me bring in the next one. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay,
So,
Hamilton. How about this guy? Girl.
the
Gal.
divided goddess.
Yes. So how about this one here?
Is this a fertility thing? No, it's looking at
It's like looking at
cheese. You know what it is by looking at. No, I don't. Just because I sell cheese, I don't always know by looking at it.
Oh, okay.
A lot
There
of
we
cheese
go.
have holes, not just Swiss.
Okay, good. All right. Okay.
Although he pretty much is. It's accurate.
So what are we looking at here, Hamilton?
Okay, he said seems a unique piece.
Yes. Yes.
Type
Like
faster.
cheese.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, Adrian. Why the duality of heads?
Or couples.
Couples, because
Yeah.
that's one woman from the neck down. Is she divided? What does that mean? Is it fertility? What is that?
You're up, Hamilton. This is a good take. Okay.
If I threw them at you, the granite would hurt more. It's heavier and denser. Okay. You know, this is why I say he's like a little brother, okay? Yes, both of them would hurt, Hamilton. They both hurt.
So why don't you describe this one to us, Hamilton?
I think Hamilton's tired. Jan Miller asks, are they from the gravation tool culture from which originated from northern Italy? No. And Hamilton doesn't know why she has two heads. He can't find another example.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty unusual, and I'm still quite shaken up by that two-headed cave bear earlier on.
Oh, really?
Huh.
That must be a two-headed woman.
Double trouble.
You got to be careful because there's two of us on this panel. Be
Double
careful
trouble.
with that two-headed
Yeah.
woman comment.
Okay.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
for me, it reads divisive, but I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to go back to this other question for Richard, and then I'm going to put up a couple of other pictures. Hold on here for Hamilton. Okay, so let's get back to this question here real quick.
Yeah, the Betex
Yes.
there.
I'm just going to read it one more time. Oh, just 1 second. One moment, please. Hamilton says, seems to be a complete freak of carving. There are about 2,300 Venuses known about, but no other double-headed one except my other two-headed double-headed.
Of course it is.
My other double.
Why would you not have a rarity?
Two of them. Two of them,
no less. Okay,
Yeah.
Richard, go
So,
ahead.
I just want to read it one more time to refresh the audience, if that's okay. Grail Queen asks, any truth to the story of Daniel Bedex and Mount Bergerac that he found a link between an old hearth in a chateau and the mountain, and then the hearth was destroyed? Thank you, Grail Queen.
Well, I can't say whether there's any truth to the story about the old hearth because I hadn't heard that particular story before. But it's symptomatic with the constant stories of people finding archaeological remains and then them disappearing or being erased there afterwards. The Daniel Betex affair is a freaky one. To the best of my knowledge, Daniel Betex was a Swiss customs officer who used to come to the Bucharest area in the summer times and fancied himself as a amateur archaeologist who took a particular interest in the caves and in the Cathar history, and then started penetrating into the interior of the Bucharest. There are a number of different claims that are associated with Betex's time. He was corresponding with a lady named Lucienne Julian, who was basically the secretary of the local Neo-Cathar organization based in Arc, and some of his letters survive. And there's some conflicting accounts of what really happened to him. It's widely reported that his dehydrated body was found in a field outside Bucharest, and it's unclear quite why he was dehydrated, whether quite what the accounts mean. Then there's another bunch of folk who claim that he died back in Switzerland, and the whole story of the corpse being found in the field outside Bucharest is an invention. It's difficult to know what's true. And he did do a survey of the ruins of the original castle of Bucharest. But this castle is actually down in the village and is part of the village itself, quite near the church, rather than up in the mountain. To the best of my knowledge, there's no actual human constructions on the mountain of Bucharest itself.
Oh, that's
Bucharest. I'm sorry, I butchered that.
Yeah, Bucharest.
Yeah.
Bucharest.
Yeah.
The upside down mountain, our local UFO window area.
Cool.
Yes, it is.
This
I've
is
got a few pictures out of there actually of UFOs.
This is a really good question. Jay asks, Richard, what is the UNESCO status of the ruins at Montségur? Have there been any additional surveys in supporting of nominating it as a World Heritage Site?
Well, there's been no archaeological investigation of Montségur since the official surveys were conducted back in the really in the 1950s and 60s into I think the early 70s. Was the GRAIM, the official French archaeological group, who did the official survey. No one's ever gone back to it. And Montségur and the surrounding valley has made it as far as the UNESCO World Heritage shortlist.
Sure.
But it hasn't yet become a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's stuck at the last post, and at the moment, I guess the forces of light and darkness remain kind of equally balanced in Montségur. A high court action slowed down the Imbris Group, the mountaintop mining company at the top of the Tabor, and they've kind of stopped expanding, but haven't gone, and they're just sitting there. Montségur made it to the UNESCO shortlist, but hasn't officially been declared a World Heritage Site yet. So it's kind of in the balance at the moment, I guess.
I can't believe it's not.
Okay, next.
Hamilton says, I believe that prehistoric pieces have been found on the Rennes-le-Château plain. Seems logical that these people also were responsible for the cave paintings in the locality. Some of the earliest paintings are deep in the caves around the zone. Richard can explain. What, you can't type it all, Hamilton? I'm just kidding.
He's getting tired, but yeah, we do have a lot of cave art and a lot of freaky cave art and a lot of very ancient remains. And I would also suggest that there was probably stuff going on here since before humans were even around. And the sensation that some of the stuff that's been moved around and the crazy symmetry of the place. Is half suggestive of the idea of I don't know, ultra dimensional or certainly inhuman forces at work in the dawn of time. I mean, if we want to speculate on the idea of there being some kind of dimensional portal or wormhole or something here, then it was probably here millions and millions of years ago. It might have been at the bottom of a prehistoric ocean before humanity even arrived, and that prehistoric ocean has long since receded. But whatever's here in the zone is somehow still halfway active.
Can you
Interesting.
imagine one day in the future, someone is going to find all of Hamilton's artifacts?
Yeah,
Treasure trove, like, what?
Pardon, Richard?
Hamilton's thought of that. He has a bunch of old English pennies, which he's had altered to put a hat on the Queen, with an initial and
A hat on the Queen.
yeah, and he loses these pennies habitually at all the strangest places on the planet. With the intention that they will come to light in years.
I know he was able to tell me a lot about the World War One coins that my nephew sent me, and Hamilton was able to give me the information on them. I was just like, "This is good. Do you have an afternoon? Because I have a few more things I want to show you." Hamilton says the oldest human remains found in Europe were uncovered in a cave here.
Yeah, this is true. This place has been continuously inhabited for a super long time. There's some layers of untold history that have been going on.
Oh, I can imagine. We have to take a quick break.
It's that
Sponsor
time already. Yes, or we will be fired. You are listening.
Boy isn't here with his cup.
You are listening to The Outer Realm with Michelle Desrochers and Amelia Pisano, coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans on 107.7 and 105.3 FM. We are also live on Roku right now. So hello, Roku. We're new to you. We hope that you continue to follow us and watch us. And don't forget about the rest of the shows from the network. Tonight we've got Richard Stanley, and Hamilton White is partially here. He's in our chat room, but he is still he's still continuing the show with us. He's still participating and telling us all of his stories. So we're grateful to him. We know how late it is for both of you over there. If you've missed this show and you're catching it now, don't worry, because you can stream and listen to our archives on any platform that you normally use. We want to say a huge thank you to the amazing people at Folgers Coffee for fully sponsoring our show from day one. We love you and we thank you. And we also want to thank you for your continued support. Without you, we would definitely not be there. And without this amazing man, shout out and huge thank you for our intro and outro to Dr. Snick, the Sonic Surgeon, Justin Snicker, award-winning composer and musician. You can find his music on Amazon and Bandcamp, and find him here on Facebook and Instagram. Give him a like, give him a follow. He's often sharing clips of his music. His music's incredible. There's a reason why he won awards, so check him out. And speaking of Facebook and YouTube, give us a like, give us a follow. We know that you're there because the numbers show it, so we need to see you and see that support on Facebook and YouTube, please, and thank you. And Hamilton White is in the UK promoting Folgers with great enthusiasm by text. Thank you, Hamilton.
Where's our commercial?
Yeah, no kidding. Still waiting. Well, please, look at all the trouble he's going through. Yes, I had a stamp made the right size to overstamp the Queen's tiara with a hat like mine. I've left thousands of them all over the world.
I shouldn't be laughing. That's just awesome.
I'm still waiting for my black coin, because we're supposed to have the black coin. Is it the toonie, the $2 bill that's going out with her last photo?
Oh, I don't know.
After she passed, there's a black ring around it.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, hi, Wayne. Wayne Murphy says, Hamilton, talk about how magnetic anomalies affect you in some ways. Oh, he's in the chat room, Wayne. He's not
there we
with
go,
us.
Hamilton.
Yeah, that'd probably be a lot of typing.
It might be, but
he must be magnetic if he's picking up all these coins. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I'm going to post another photo, Hamilton, and you can explain.
Wow. There's more.
Why am I doing this? Okay. Well, yes, this is a whole other topic.
Thank God we have Richard.
Okay.
Thank God for you, Richard. Seriously.
These can both go crazy. There we go. All right, we've got Tim and Cindy Wallace Murphy. So the Tomar Heresy of the Templars. So this is a book that is, I guess, out. It's ready to go. Hamilton, just chime in via text and we'll put your comment up. Let me get back up to this one here. As far as I know, this one can be found here for anybody looking to purchase. Okay, Hamilton.
Very cool. Oh, thealchemistfurnace.com.
Yes. Yes. So this is where you can find this book. Now, this is interesting to me. Rich, I don't know if you know anything about it. I'm sure he's the book that wasn't finished. Okay. Oh my God. A little bit of sarcasm. All right. It finally exists. With a little help from a friend, I'm thinking. So tell us about the book. Anybody? Richard can chime in. Hamilton can chime in. We'll put the comments up. How about that?
Well, I guess this is the official book about the Tomar Hoard, which is the hoard of Templar artifacts that first got Hamilton caught in this mess, and which was the subject of the Lost Relics TV show.
Yes.
And way back at that point in time, Tim Wallace Murphy was engaged to write the official book that was supposed to accompany the show, telling the tale of the Tomar Hoard. But unfortunately, Tim passed under something of a shadow here in the zone, and the book was never completed until now. So this is the last incomplete Tim Wallace Murphy manuscript that's been basically in the midst of the crazy ongoing occult war that's been raging down here for the last 3 years, and it's good to see it finally between two covers and surfacing.
We're going to put up another
Yeah,
photo
it looks
here as well.
beautiful cover.
1 second. There's another picture that he sent. So let me grab hold of that one. There
I
we
feel
are.
like we're at a pub quiz.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
There's another
wow.
photo.
That's a
So the heresy of the Templars. How does that fit into the Hoard, the finds? Can we elaborate on that a little bit? Hold on.
Ham's Hoard, it's a Templar hoard. It's
Yes.
a Templar treasure, and this is largely material that the warrior knight dynasty brought back from Jerusalem and from the Holy Lands, and it's back to Europe and subsequently to Tomar, where the order pretty much survived unmolested for many more years than in the rest of Europe. And the stuff lay dormant until it surfaced a few years ago, thanks to the work of Portuguese treasure hunters. And again, difficult to talk about exactly where it came from, and it's also to say that there's a lot more that Hamilton hasn't let out of the bag yet, and which I doubt is even in the book.
Right. Right.
why
Yeah.
so secretive, Mr. White?
Yes. Some of
Answer
it's for
that for
good
me.
reason. So,
Well, I mean, without saying too much, I got to say that this whole affair of the Tomar Hoard and the obsidian chalice and stuff is for me it has been like being caught in the middle of some ghastly remake of the Maltese Falcon.
oh,
There have been so many different forces jostling over it, and so many different people with crazy vested interests that I could see how Ham has to tread cautiously.
It's scary. It is scary. It can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's
well,
true to art, like art imitating life, like Indiana Jones. He gets something, it makes it seem, I'm not trying to belittle it, I'm just trying to put it on a different perspective, a different level. It's scary when you have something
when you have
so
something
valuable
that the
and
world has never
priceless.
seen, and you know there
Yeah.
isn't another like it.
It's priceless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
And mysterious, the mystery that goes with it, and the Templars. So
and sadly, it's true in that it is like, but like Indiana Jones, from the point of view that the moment you actually get your hands on something, the very next thing you hear is inevitably a gun being cocked, or it's amazing how that holds true in direct proportion to how much value people place on things. And some of these artifacts have an indescribable value, not just to people, but to governments and to nations.
Right.
yeah. Hamilton says, trying to explain the complexities of Tim Wallace Murphy and his antics would probably send me mental if I had to type it out. But it's not a bad book, 50 plus illustrated, and it's helped out Cindy, who has had a bad time of things due to some of the hideous creatures who attach themselves to Tim towards the end.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Hamilton.
Yeah, it makes it really difficult. Without a doubt, there are things, it just goes to show there are things in this world that not everyone is made privy to. And being in the field, that we're in, and I've spent 2 decades in, it's always been working around different levels of high strangeness. And believe me, there are things out there that can hurt you. They can. But there's always ways to, there's always ways to protect yourself. There's always ways of detecting things like that. I do believe that good prevails.
I totally agree. I think that, the darkness cannot stand in the face of truth and light, essentially. And I feel 100% protected here in the zone. I got in terms of defense against the magical arts. I'm right in the middle of this vast natural pentagram and feel absolutely blessed to be in this little pocket of space-time. And the place I'm in is wreathed with different incantations and different things keeping it safe. I've got white hawthorn from the mountain of Peshkadu because of its association of Cardea, the goddess of hinges, the Roman goddess of the domus and defender of the home, and whose plant is white hawthorn. So got that windows. I've got African kiris over the thresholds of the bedrooms, which are there to prevent nachlopas and nocturnal forces from entering the room. Ham doesn't really believe in any of this stuff, so he's had problems with lightning strikes in his collection and all kinds of things, wondering it out. So, because I don't think he's in the business of smudging out too carefully.
Well, I think it's a tread cautiously sort of situation. Our belief systems all vary, but in the end, whether you believe or you don't, you can't deny that there is something. And I do believe that, again, certain parts of the world are more apt to invite, such activity, which brings me to my next question. Why do you think this area is so enticing for this sort of activity, for people to just bring it to your doorstep? But, the doorstep being the area, the zone itself.
Yeah, no, it's the hell out of me. I mean, what it seems to me time and again is not only that there's some kind of supernatural force at work in the zone, that it feels like somehow it's a place where opposite forces are destined to confront each other. There's always a siege or a drama or a standoff or a leap of faith or some kind of crazy test going on, as with the siege of Montsegur. It's a place where one can detect a standoff between belief systems. Like, I have no idea why the Holy Roman Church felt the need to exterminate the Cathars with such ferocity. Montsegur is clearly a place where where it ultimately came down to them dragging 250 or 300 men, women, and children down from the mountain and forcibly burning them over a doctrinal point. So it does seem to be a place where faiths tend to butt heads, and I like to think of the Holy Grail as being the symbol of the possibility of the reconciliation of opposites, of the hope that somehow these different warring forces can sort it out, that we could have a peace between light and darkness, or spirit and matter, between patriarchal and matriarchal forces. They wouldn't always have to collide head on here in Zod.
That's just comic. Sorry. My mom used to say, "L'ombre non camina nella luce," which means that the shadows cannot walk amongst the light. So you might want to rethink that, Hamilton. Hamilton says, the zone seems to be a place that science is unable to explain. There are so many anomalies in the land and the geography. Maybe the ancients can understand these things much better than modern society. I have to agree. With that. And Tamara says, you are in a multi-layered area due to history and ley lines. And also, Grail Queen has one there. Hamilton says, it's drawn in people. Grail Queen asks, has there been an uptick in UFO sightings? And is there a place of concentration for sightings in this zone?
Yeah, totally. There's definitely been an overall, I guess, more unidentified atmospheric phenomena have been coming down than normal lately, and that's been the case since last year. And I've seen a bunch of stuff myself, and just about a month ago, I was up on the Ren Plateau and counted not just one, but over the course of about 20 minutes, 18 anomalous pieces of sparky space junk falling silently out of the sky and streaming across the zone towards the direction of Montsegur, whatever it was. And so, plenty, lots of lovely atmospheric phenomena and electrical phenomena. Been seeing a lot of huge, big, close encountery lenticular cloud formations of kind of lightning going on inside the cloud, striking down to the ground.
I have. They're phenomenal.
Classic stuff, and so a lot of that in the last few months. It's been pretty active. Not the actual UFO groups aren't in great shape, so it'd be nice to see them come back. And that our main UFO groups, the SALS team, got wiped out last year when the Domaine de la Salles got taken down. And I don't know of that many Sky Watchers and
I've had photos sent to me by a friend down there, and they're in tour groups, unsuspecting people in the middle of the day, just bending down and doing something, and you look up and zoom in, and it says, there it is. And it just seems to be up top the mountains, Monseigneur, Bougrache.
Yeah, and we get a lot of anomalous electrical discharges the whole time, and that's just really common. You can sit there and literally see things flashing and flickering and lights coming up off mountains that makes no kind of sense at all. And stuff like the Martha lights, basically Earth lights, discharges of energy coming up off things, which got no explanation. And been happening a lot. So supercharged, and a general sense that whatever force is here is strong at present, and wants to remanifest.
Grail Queen has a follow-up question. Have you ever encountered people that were quite obviously unusual? Do you mean humans, or
aside from Richard and Hamilton? Really? Yeah. Okay.
Like directing traffic down here, and we get some very, very strange and unique people, and drawn to the area.
Hamilton.
Okay, Hamilton says there is a huge iron meteorite in a garden near Opel Perellos. Yes, close to where a French military plane came down in unexplained circumstances. I think I'm the only one who has figured out what this stone is. Are you going to share, Hamilton?
That could do it.
A leading statement.
Right?
Wallace is an incredible cave. It's a
Wow.
very, very strange location. From some very
Wow.
powerful forces.
Yeah. No, that's my house.
Okay, but what is that sound?
I'll explain later. If I put it on mute, I'm never gonna get back on. But,
Speaking of,
yeah.
Okay.
And Tamara says must be portals.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of them down there. But
Yeah, and all that stuff tends to run parallel. The little person fairy tradition and the UFO tradition kind of joined at the hip.
mhm.
Yeah, mysterious moving lights and the sense of other things out there which are not necessarily human, which immediately projects one into the realm of elemental beings, ultra-dimensional or extraterrestrial presences.
Mhm.
There's got to be loads of that surrounded by that giant Atlantic Ocean. There's
is
got to
just-
be loads, like around the UK. It's oh wow.
I've had some interesting photos when I was at Rennes Chateau, and with extraterrestrial tendency. I have a friend of mine looking at them right now, and he's just sort of like going, "This is pretty interesting." I'll have to pass them around. So they're definitely out there. Curious little bees that they are. Hamilton. Go ahead.
And Hamilton is expanding on that. It's a huge, almost circular iron meteorite that is completely alien to any type of stone in the area. It's where it landed in a remote place close to the creepy village of Opie.
Mm.
Okay, didn't really answer. I'm going to stop bugging him because it's late. Tamara says, I agree with Richard. As usually, those things do go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's the same phenomena wearing different masks. And it also tends to shift with the times and often reflects what's going on in pop culture in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had our sort of last big resurgence of alien stuff back when the X-Files was still popular. And it's been dormant for a while, and it's just starting to kick off again now.
I'll let Amelia read this, and then I'll chime in.
Hamilton says about half a mile from the commemorative, is it pronounced Stell? To the plane that came down, killing all on board.
Mm.
Oh,
Boy.
Almost like a triangle.
This supernatural force that you speak of, do you think it's being empowered by current times and events? Being fed, or even manipulating?
Well, it's definitely reflecting what's going on. The struggle here in the zone tends to reflect what goes on in the outside world, and often in some kind of crazy amplified way.
Mm-hmm.
To make things seem almost cartoonish at times, very very exaggerated, and it definitely feels like a point in time when the underground stream wants to surface, when a lot of stuff that's been suppressed or buried for 7 centuries is wanting to come out, but it also feels like that's provoked an extraordinary backlash and unleashed a whole bunch of other forces that are conspiring to try and shut it up again. So it's a strange,
fascinating
conflict that's been going on, and a lot of folk have been falling by the wayside as a result. And that it's been a time where certainly it's been a seismic change here, and I'm looking forward to seeing some form of tranquility returning.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Adrian Thobin. Hi, Adrian. Has anyone tried psychometry with any of the stone carvings?
Good question. Hamilton.
The question for Ham, I don't have the stone carvings.
I wish I could, because I would be reading that like crazy.
I'll put that back up. Hamilton.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Oh,
Okay.
he has something to say. He's continuing still.
Okay.
There have been some very strange things happen around the Opal Perilous village. An estate agent who went there ended up in a mental institution due to things he claimed to have encountered there. Also at site below the castle where the rather unpleasant Satanists do their black mass. Okay.
Mm, okay. Hamilton, any idea on this question here?
Psychometry, not on the Venus figures, but yes, on some of the Templar pieces.
And what were the results on the Templar pieces, Hamilton, if any?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Psychometry is fun.
Especially depending on the piece. One of these would be good. Very
accurate. Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You can find someone who does that. It's an incredible gift.
Well, we are slowly coming up to the top of the hour. So, Hamilton and Richard. Richard, we have you here. Why don't you tell us what you've got coming up, how people can find you, and then Hamilton, write it down what you have coming up and how people can find you.
And your website again. Yeah.
Well, people can find me at the official richardstanley.com website or on Facebook. And what I've got coming up, I'm still holding the tower here in the zone and currently preparing for to face down March. So going to be basically doing a proper cleanse, just taking a step back for probably the first week of March and trying to attune myself, and then plan on going up to the top of Pesh Kardu and closing the circle on the night of the worm moon, the rising of the worm moon on the 7th of March, which is really kind of the beginning of spring, and then there's the lead up to March the 16th. So I want to go up the valley and check out the status of the Roman remains at Montsegur, and then be present and accounted for on the field of the stake on the morning of March 16th to read the roll call and see what happens this year.
Wow.
This year we've been planning ahead, so are fully prepped for any eventuality.
Oh, well, I hope you'll post all about that. I'm going to be waiting for that one. That one sounds exciting. I wish I could be there. Hamilton, what do you have coming up that you want to talk about? I have to say what you want to talk about, because I know you've got a lot coming up. And where's the best place to get a hold of you if you want to be found? I have to put it out there because I don't know. But you can't find him on social media. He is on Facebook. And he is on Instagram. Okay, here we go.
Okay, he says, I may be in France on the 16th, 50-50 chance. I have a trip to Spain, pickup in Portugal, and Sonia Society in March.
Okay, and people can reach out to you on social media. So again, find Hamilton White on Facebook and Instagram. And Richard, update on your book. Yeah, Richard, update on your book.
Well, I'm still working very hard to try and get Last Crusade out, the Golem Otto Rahn book. So I think we're going to end up self-publishing it at this point, and we'll have to keep you updated on that, because we still can't find any publishing house who's prepared to actually put the beast out there. So
lots of information. It's a big uns.
So there's that, and also I'm hoping to wend my way back to the States a bit later in this year, because we're all hoping that they'll finally lift all the COVID restrictions probably somewhere around May.
They haven't lifted them in the US?
Not for the fully unvaxxed, and for folk who have and there's a lot of folk out here are, because most of us are lazy, and
they're talking about just doing it immediately as well. I think they're fighting to try to. I think the president's just like, just do it.
I thought in Canada, I think we lifted it a while ago.
Yeah,
it's only Asia that has trouble getting in right now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very cuspy. So yeah, I'm definitely hoping to be able to. I haven't left the zone now in about 3 years, so
Right.
I'm hoping to be able to actually make it beyond the zone perimeter at some point this year.
That would be nice. Well,
Mm.
Yeah.
maybe 2023 is your year, Richard.
Well, I do love it there, but at the same time, I think in order to stop myself from going fully out of sync with the so-called real world, it's becoming time to come and check out what's happening back there.
Yes.
Whereabouts in the States would you be heading? Can you tell us, or you can't share?
Yeah, I don't know right now.
Okay.
I do have a few thoughts, and some quite a bit of unfinished business to take care of.
Right.
And obviously, we're in a very strange new world at the moment. So
We are. We
imagine
are.
it's
We
just
are.
a fact-finding expedition as much as anything else.
You're not wrong. Well, thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure, always so informative. Thank you,
Yes,
Hamilton.
thank you.
I know it was a struggle, but I'm glad that we were able to find a way for you to communicate, and we so appreciate you being here and staying up this late. We know Richard's an night owl, and I know it's a little bit
Like us.
difficult, for you. I know, but thank you both for joining us, and we'll have to do it again, of course. We know we will.
Indeed, that would be a pleasure, and hopefully in a less discombobulated manner.
Here's
Well,
to
maybe we
hoping.
can get you two together in one
Yeah,
spot.
maybe when you guys are together, it'd be a little bit easier. So, okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And have yourself
Take
a
care,
fantastic
Richard.
weekend. And
Always a pleasure.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Well, we have come to the end of another amazing segment, and wow. Sorry, Hamilton. We're sorry. We're sorry. But we
Yeah.
love you. We appreciate you so much. So thank you, guys. Okay. Again, the end, we want to thank Hamilton White for the effort. Oh my gosh. But we're glad we were finally able to at least get some information out. Big thank you to Richard Stanley. Always a pleasure to have the guys on. Big thank you to Folgers Coffee. Big thank you to Dr. Snick, Justin Snicker. Guys, if you love the show, you love what you see, please subscribe, like, follow, whatever it takes. We appreciate you so much. You just make it that much better. So thank you. And everyone who tuned in chat, thank you for being here. Now, Wednesday night, we welcome the return of our dear friend who hasn't been on in ages, Bill Bean, who's going to be discussing his new book, Tales from an Exorcist. Yes, that's right, new book. So that's going to be this coming Wednesday. Thursday, for the very first time, we have Heather L. Arnold, and she's going to be discussing her continued research and her subtract, The Island of the Giants, The Lost Race of Giants of Aruba, Bonaire, and Curaçao. So, yep, all about giants, elongated skulls, and the history, ancient history of all this information. And I think it's going to be pretty exciting. We've never really had anybody come on into that much detail before, and I think it's going to be quite fascinating. Very cool indeed, Tamara. Very cool indeed. So everybody have a fantastic weekend, and thank you all for joining in, and we'll see you next week. Good night.